Hey, Hansi Flick, what have you done to these Barca players, bro? What have you done to this Barcelona team? This Barca team are mentality monsters. Like these days, I don't even trip when we are losing 2-0 in games no more, bro. Like I don't trip no more when we are losing 2-0 in games because I always have this feeling that Barca would come back. And once again, Barca have done it again. The comeback kings have done it again, guys. Barca are coming back from 2-0 down against Levante to win 3-2. I've lost count, bro. Like, how many times have Barca done a remontada under Hansi Flick? I've lost count, bro. Man, what a night this was. What a performance this was tonight, guys. The first half was really, really shambolic, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie. The first half was very, very bad from a Barca perspective. We didn't play very well at all. But if there's one thing we've learned about Flick's Barca is that they will always fight until the end, guys. And this is amazing. It's incredible to be a Barca fan right now. Like losing 2-0 and I ain't even scared, bro. Like I always knew that we we're going to find a way back into this game today. And kudos to the team. Once again, they have done the usual thing that they always do. They make you feel like they want to lose this game today, and somehow they always find a way to put a joy on our faces at the end of the game. But it has to be said, guys, this is a risky strategy, guys. What have Barca learned from what we saw last season, guys? We came back so many times last season, but the day that it was very, very important to come back, that day against Inter, that night at San Siro, we failed to come back. Why does Barca always have to give teams head start in games, bro? Like, it's unnecessary. It is totally unnecessary for Barca to be giving teams head starts in games. We were losing this game 2-0 tonight, guys. We could have easily dropped points tonight. But once again, back to what I said, man. What has Hansi Flick done to this team? This team is a totally different beast mentally, guys. Barca is a totally different beast mentally. They don't know when they are beaten, guys. I've lost count, bro. I've lost count of the remontadas that we've witnessed under Hansi Flick, guys. But it's not a good way to play games. Always having to come back from 2-0 down, bro, it's not a good way to play games. Even though Barca has shown that we can do it, bro. Like, I don't want to be seeing these all the time, man. But to be honest, today the game was not really good in the first half. The team didn't play well in the first half at all. But the referee was very, very bad. The high line was exposed, a number of times in the first half, and we were trailing, guys. Levante, of course, you know that away Levante are always a tough nut to crack at their stadium, even though we always tend to defeat them when we are playing at home. But when it's an away game against Levante, it's always a difficult game. And tonight showed the same. They were leading 2-0 in the first half. The first goal was legit. No complaints about that. But I have to talk about that second goal, guys. Man, that was really, really poor refereeing. That was poor officiating from the officials tonight. I think Balde touched the ball with his hand. Of course, it was a penalty that was converted by Jose Luis Morales on the stroke of halftime. But in the incident that led to that penalty, it shouldn't have been a penalty, guys. It clearly shouldn't have been a penalty because I agree that Balde, the ball made contact with Balde's hands, but I think his hands seemed in a natural position. If you ask me, I'm not saying this because I'm a Barcelona fan, but his hands seemed in a natural position, guys. But why are you giving a penalty for that? And of course, we saw that the referee went to the VAR monitor, he replayed it, and even during the replays, it was very obvious that this was not an unnatural position for Balde's hand. I think he blocked the ball excellently. It was great defending in my opinion. But somehow La Liga referees, they always know how, they always find a way to make a mess of every single thing. And after the review, the referee gave a penalty that Morales converted, and all of a sudden, Barca were going in at the break 2-0 down. Now, the most interesting part of this whole penalty incident is that last season, guys, let me take your mind back to last season in the Clásico at the Montjuic. The second Clásico at the Montjuic last season. What happened? There was a shot by Ferran Torres. It was goal bound. It was goal bound. And Aurélien Tchouameni blocked this ball with his hands. His hands were not even in a natural position. If you compare the two incidents, this incident involving Balde tonight and that involving Tchouameni in that Clásico last season, Tchouameni's hands seem to be in a more unnatural position than Balde's hands was in this incident tonight. But why am I picking out this Tchouaméni incident? It's for one single reason, guys, and that is because guess who was the referee that did not award Barcelona a penalty on that occasion against Madrid in the Clásico? The VAR did not even have a look. No, he went to see it and he decided not to give a penalty. He actually went to the monitor to watch that incident again and he didn't give a penalty. But tonight, because it is Barcelona, the rules are always different. This same referee went to the VAR monitor and immediately, without hesitation, he pointed to the spot. And all of a sudden, Barca were looking as if we're going to lose tonight. But their plans no go work. Oh. Their plans will not work because no matter how hard they try, bro, Barca is Barca. The Barca spirit is never going to die. And we showed our face in the second half. That second half performance was just brilliant from Hansi Flick. I wonder what he told the boys at halftime, but I'm not surprised because, like I said, I've lost count of the remontadas that we've witnessed in Barcelona under Hansi Flick, guys. That second half, Barca were a totally different team. I think the lineup played a part in our poor first half as well. Rafinha was playing as the number 10. No Olmo, no Fermin in that lineup. Rafinha was playing as the number 10. And it allowed Rashford to make his first start on the left wing. Rashford did not have the best of nights. Let's be very honest, he didn't play well at all. He didn't justify his inclusion in that lineup by Hansi Flick. And he had to be taken off at halftime. And then, of course, we saw that Xavi was introduced at halftime because Marc Casado, with all the talk about his future during the course of the week, Hansi Flick placed his faith in him and he rewarded him with a start tonight. Although Casado was not really good tonight, let's be very honest. I like Casado. He still has a big role to play for Barca, but tonight was not one of those nights that Casado played his best football and he was rightly substituted at halftime. He was replaced by Xavi, and despite the fact that a lot of coolers believe that Xavi and Pedri, they don't function well together in a double pivot, I think tonight told a totally different story because when Xavi and Pedri were playing together in that double pivot, Barca looked rejuvenated in that second half, and it was very clear because we didn't even waste much time in that second half at all. We got the goals that got us level very quickly. First of all, Pedri with a thunderbolt from outside of the penalty area. That strike, even if it was Thibaut Courtois and Gianluigi Donnarumma together in that goal, they were never going to save that, and that was a powerful, brilliant strike from Pedri that got Barca back into the game. And of course, you know that it's always important to score early when you are trying to make a comeback, and that is what Barca did. Barca scored early in the second half with that thunderbolt from Pedri, and almost immediately, the shark Ferran Torres, he made it 2-2 from a corner kick that was delivered by Rafinha, and all of a sudden, it was game on. Barca, once again, for the umpteenth time, were back from the dead. Barca recovered from the deck for the umpteenth time under Hansi Flick. I said I've lost count, bro. So many remontadas under this German manager. This guy has changed our lives, coolers. Hansi Flick is a blessing. Hansi Flick has to be like the best thing that has happened to Barca in this second tenure of President Joan Laporta, guys. The mentality is top-notch. The mentality is different. Barca are beasts mentality-wise. They don't know when they are beaten. They always believe that until the end, until the final whistle, we are not going to surrender, guys. And I'm so happy tonight with these 3 points because that means that Barca have started the season with 2 wins from 2 games, and that is a good way to start the title defense of the La Liga title that we won last season. And of course, that second half, the referee was still goofing around. He made more errors in the second half, trying to find a way to make Barca drop points tonight. This guy must clearly be a Madrid fan. I know they will not openly admit these things, but this guy has to be a Madrid fan because definitely is an agenda against Barca in La Liga. But despite their best efforts, they're not going to stop us, bro, because when God says it's your time, it's your time. Last season they tried, they were not successful. This season they have started again, and hopefully they shall not be successful again. In that second half, we saw that Lewandowski came back from his injury that saw him miss the first game that we played last weekend, and Lewandowski should have gotten a penalty as well. There was a clear foul in the penalty area by the Levante defender on Lewandowski, but this same referee Not surprisingly, of course, he still didn't give a penalty for Barca. There was no check. There was no review, guys. And we don't need the referees to win games, bro. Like, fuck the referees. We don't need them to win games. We can win our games ourselves, and that's what we've done. In the last few minutes of the game, the star boy, the golden kid, Lamine Yamal, rocking the number 10 shirt, once again, he proved decisive because it was his cross into the box that caused chaos in the Levante area, and they scored an own goal that made us to win this game and complete the remontada. The comeback was complete with the help of Lamine Yamal. That's 2 assists tonight. Some people say the number 10 was going to be heavy for Lamine Yamal. Guys, you guys are not ready for what this kid is going to do for the next 10 to 15 years, guys. Let's see what Lamine Yamal is going to do for the next 10 to 15 years because he has the talent. If you are waiting for Lamine Yamal to fail, bro, I think that's going to be a very, very long wait, guys. But overall, I'm pleased with the fact that we won the game tonight. We got the most important thing, which was the 3 points. And of course, we have given our rivals, Real Madrid, some pressure because they have a game to play tomorrow. Atletico, they had dropped points yet again tonight. Just before Barca played, they were held to a 1-1 draw by Elche at the Metropolitano. That means that Atletico have just gotten 1 point from their first 2 games of the season. That's 1 point out of a possible 6. So that is a very, very poor start by their standards. And Barca, even though we struggled tonight, it was a difficult win tonight because we had to come back from 2 goals down. But we now have 6 points from 6. 6 points from 6 points and 2 wins from 2 games. So that is a great way to start a title defense, guys. And I have to say that I think Eric Garcia is really, really jumping up the pecking order at Barcelona because it's 2 games now and Eric Garcia has been the starting right back. I think from the end of last season, he has continued to improve game by game in that position. And it's good to see because Koundé played so many games last season, guys. We couldn't afford him a rest on so many occasions and it hurt us towards the end of the season. So it's good to see that Koundé finally has some good competition in that position, and I think that competition is going to bring the best out of both players. But let's see how the season unfolds, guys. Full time at the Ciutat de Valencia, Levante 2, Barcelona 3, Barca with yet another comeback under the guidance of our German manager Hansi Flick. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. What do you think of Barca's tendency for always starting games slow and always trying to make a comeback? Do you think that behavior is going to cost Barca yet again later in the season like it cost Barca against Inter in the Champions League last season? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next videos. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça. Adios.